is a beautiful sun ray. I will move the chair. I want to thank you for coming on. I am going to talk about my two books. The first one, A Long Way Home, and then Choose Peace. And please let me know, send me a message where you're watching from in the world. I have a Master of Science in Journalism from Columbia University in New York City, and I did focus on book writing, and I have a really solid academic background. And with both of these books, yeah, you might find typos, you might find some grammatical errors. I did flows instead of chapters, and I gave myself permission to let go of all the academic training so I could truly just allow my authentic voice to flow without feeling boxed in. I'm sitting right where this all began for me. I'm by the Umatilla River, and I sit every day on my balcony. I'm gonna hold my books. They've changed my life, and I'm gonna share why. But I have done a really deep practice of meditation and almost living like a monk intentionally for the last 2 years, eating very, very consciously. I hardly ever eat out. And one morning I was meditating it was March 16th, 2026. And out of the meditation, this quotation came to me as I was watching the rock and the water flowing around the rock, and had this deep conscious shift that in happiness, and it's on the back of both of my books, and it's that in happiness we may rise and fall, but in peace we flow with it all. So I have been in this deep flow state since March 16th. Hello everybody. Thank you for jumping on. Please let me know where you're watching from in the world, and thank you so much. I'm sharing the journey about the process of my books. I shared in the description the link to my Amazon author page. I also produced, recorded, sound engineered my audiobooks, and the Long Way Home audiobook is also available there. Let me know what country you're watching from, and I see you all, and I thank you so much for jumping on. I'm sharing a process. I'm going to read Choose Peace. This is me on North Shore, on Oahu in Hawaii. Hawaii was a huge part of my healing journey. I'm so thankful to the many, many friends on island. This was taken by my dear friend, Carol Louise Ward. And I noticed, it was actually just the other day I noticed, this one was AI. And we need to advocate for environmentally friendly practices with AI, but it is here. I look, and they actually look very similar with my arms up in surrender. And that is so much the heart of my message. Thank you everyone for jumping on. I see you. I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read everything you're writing. But I'm going to be telling you about the books. They're available worldwide on Amazon. So wherever you are in the world that there's Amazon, both A Long Way Home is available and Choose Peace. I want to talk about each book. So this might be a longer live. You're welcome to pause it, come back, look later. Please consider subscribing. Let me know where you're watching from in the world. I'll start with A Long Way Home, but I also want to talk about whenever you all go publish, if you're considering publishing a book, I want you to know that nothing prepared me for how my life was going to change with constant, I would say literally 50 to 100 emails a day many of which are spam and trollers, and because I'm so out there, and once you publish and you're on Amazon, it's like the vultures are coming after you to get you to do another, you know, and I vet heavily. And, you know, unless it's someone from Gersh or CAA or Distel and Godrich reaching out and they actually have a proper email and a phone, just know that when you publish, you're suddenly approached by so many people, and a lot of them are scammers, a lot of them are trollers. So just be really, really mindful. I am going to put my glasses on. Please let me know. Hi, everyone. I see you. My whole intention with my books is to grow global community. So I'm going to tell you about my books. A Long Way Home. I was just talking about the quotation on the back. I was sitting here on March 16th, and this is really important. And no, this is not a sales pitch to go buy my books, although yes, if you buy them and I am live, the link to my author page is in the description. Definitely, if you do get them, it'd be really super fun. If you get Choose Peace, this is my second book, or A Long Way Home, please consider coming back and letting me know you ordered. If you are a troll or a spam jumping on my live, I do want to address this for a moment. I want you to know that you're showing, oh, thank you. Just please be respectful and kind and don't spam and troll. I'm trying to really create a meaningful space here, and I would like to ask for that respect. So A Long Way Home, I was sitting on this balcony, I was looking out at the river, and that quotation came to me. I keep taking these on and off and I'm not going to stay on too long because our air quality is not fantastic at all. In fact, I was dressed for work and work was canceled, but I do need to feel the sun for a moment. I was having my coffee and I looked out on the river and I saw the rock and the water flowing around it. And leading up to March 16th, when this book just started flowing out of me, and then my next one, I'm actually on my third book, which I don't talk about plans, I'm not talking about details, but my third book is moving through me already. It's like I've been in a constant flow state, but it built up because of discipline. Deep discipline of I've dropped 40 pounds of eating clean, of eating well, getting up early, meditating, my yoga, my walking, that this flow state with my writing came as a direct result of having created a container of grounding and the ability to anchor to my own inner calm shoreline. I'd love to read you the opening of A Long Way Home. This book is, I had to get my journey out. I grew up in New York City. I lived in Paris. I swam right for Rice University. I ended up married to a Umatilla tribal member. I dedicate my book to my amazing daughters, Summer and Claire Wildbill. You know, whether they read them while I'm alive or not alive. My writing is my legacy. My writing, my podcasts, my social platform is what I can leave my children, my daughters, that there will be a place for them to return to my voice once I'm gone. And that we're here such a short time. If you're watching now, let me know where you're watching from, what country, what state, what city. And I'm going to read you the first chapter. Well, it's not a chapter. I called them flows, not chapters. From my book, A Long Way Home, and the link to my Amazon. Okay. Thank you for the congrats. I really appreciate it. Let me know what city. This is me in Central Park holding a balloon that says Central Park. I am a born and raised. We got Philly. We got Philly. Hey, Bill Cosby from Philly. We got a little East Coast vibe. I'm sitting on a balcony, but I grew up on 79th and Broadway, and I'm in rural Eastern Oregon, and we are one world. We are one humanity. Thank you all for jumping on. So let me share a little bit about. I'm a 1970. I'm 56, and I love life. Oh, thank you. So where are we all watching from? We've got Philadelphia. Who else? I know we have a few more people on. Let me know where you're watching from. It means the world to me, because my intention is one book, one reader at a time, to grow global community connection. Here we go. So I was born. Can you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up or a heart. Can you hear me? I'm gonna read a little bit from Flow One. Growing up in New York City. I was born at Roosevelt. Now let me tell you that I grew up in the 80s in New York City, and I was at Studio 54 as a teenager, which was not okay. Like, looking back at everything that was happening in the 80s in New York was just not okay. The club owners were showing up at the private girls' schools, getting us on the club lists. I'd be able to show up at any club and get in and put a pillow on my bed and sneak out. In New York, it was easy to sneak out, right? You just had to hop a cab. Oh, anyway, yeah, I grew up at a wild time in New York City, and stuff was happening. I was born at Roosevelt Hospital. Can you hear me, my new Philly friend? Can you hear me okay? Give me a thumbs up or something so I know. Hey, Mr. Bill Cosby, let me know if you can hear me okay. All right. Yay to Philly. Oh, South Philly at that. I got to get that right. We got to low-key lock in a little hocus pocus so we can focus. I got to focus. Flow One. Thanks for staying with me. I was born at Roosevelt Hospital in New York City. Oh, by the way, the link to both my books to my Amazon page is in the description. Let me know if anyone actually orders my books while I'm live and you come back on. I would cry. That would be really special. And my whole intention is one book, one reader at a time, growing global community. If you're watching anywhere in the world, my books are both available on Amazon worldwide. Growing up in New York City. Photo. That's a little girl holding a balloon in Central Park. I'm a born and raised New Yorker, 79th and Broadway. Upper West Side, back when it was still had little mom and pop shops, and it's heartbreaking. Gentrification's heartbreaking. The changing of landscapes of neighborhoods is heartbreaking. The evolving of, the big conglomerates of Barnes and Noble and Starbucks knocking out the mom and pop shops. I'm sure, do you see that in South Philly too? Is it the same story in Philly, where we're losing all the mom and pop shops to big, conglomerates? It's heartbreaking, because you start losing the vibe of the neighborhoods, So I was born at Roosevelt Hospital in New York City, to my amazing parents, Hans and Carola Vandenhouten. I grew up on the Upper West Side on 79th and Broadway in a beautiful landmark building called the Apthorpe. I grew up at a time where the small mom and pop shops lined the neighborhood. Woolworths was across the street, and I could smell H&H Bagels cooking their onion bagels with the fresh oven-baked smell seeping out the front door. Then a block away was the iconic Zabar's, which is still there, and a few blocks away up from there was the restaurant Teachers. There was Big Nick's Burger Joint with huge sumo burgers, and Eeyore's Bookstore and Shakespeare and Company, which did open again. La Caridad had all the big old yellow taxi cabs parked out front. After school, I'd go to eat some fried plantains, black beans, and yellow rice. The Upper West Side, when I was growing up, had such a magical charm of small mom and pop shops. Returning years later, there are now so many empty storefronts and the taking over of corporate America. This sad evolution of corporate growth knocked out so many small businesses that took the charm away of the old Upper West Side. Is it the same in Philly? Let me know. Let me know if you have the same thing happening in Philly. I mean, I think this is really across America, and I do big road trips, and it all looks the same. We have the drive-through, the fast food. It's just the same landscape across America with fewer mom and pop shops. So there's no more H&H Bagels, Big Nick Burgers, Eeyore's Bookstore, La Caridad moved to 72nd, or Woolworths. The closing of chapters, symbolic of life. Nothing is permanent. Like the river outside my window, change is inevitable. Big corporations such as Starbucks and Barnes & Noble have flooded our country, making it difficult for smaller businesses to thrive. And the Upper West Side was still rough and tumble back in the 70s and 80s. One block would be safe and the next block wouldn't be safe. I remember sitting in my window of the Apthorpe, facing Broadway and looking at the flashing lights of the Dublin House Bar across the street. I would listen to the sounds. Oh, thanks for jumping on. Hey, let me know where you're watching from, okay? Thank you so much for letting me read from my book. I want to connect with you all, not just be reading, so definitely let me know where you're listening from. I'm going to read a couple more pages from A Long Way Home, and the link to my Amazon author page is in the description. If you end up ordering while we're live, that would be really special. My audiobook, I recorded it, did the sound engineering, I narrated it for A Long Way Home, and the Choose piece, I'm going to get to talking about this book in a little while. This one's transformative. The Choose piece audiobook is going to be released very soon. It's running through technical standards with ACX right now. Thank you. Yay, thanks for subscribing. Thank you. Okay, I'm reading about growing up in New York City. I'm going to keep going. Thank you if you're still with me. Okay, wait. Let me go back to this. I remember sitting in my window of the Apthorpe, facing Broadway and looking at the flashing lights of the Dublin House Bar across the street. I would listen to the sounds of the sirens and sometimes people singing or shouting on the streets, and the ambulance and the fire engines and constant sounds of New York City. The sounds of the city infiltrated my entire being as a young girl and created simulation and lifelong roots in the concrete jungle. It is absolutely true that you can take the woman out of New York City, but you can never take New York out of the woman. I am a born and raised New Yorker. I am thankful for every subway and bus ride. Let me know where you're watching from. I used to sit on the subway and I'd make up stories about all the people from around the world. I would take the #1 subway downtown and I would take the 104 bus up and down Broadway. I would make up stories about each person in every seat. I remember as a little girl sitting in the window seat of my room. I had this fabulous huge window looking over Broadway, and I remember looking at all the windows at the building across from me, thinking how every single window is a different story, a different background. All the stories and all the windows, there was a stimulation to my intellect. As a young girl growing up in New York City on 79th and Broadway, I always had to be on guard. New Yorkers have to be awake, looking around, 360 degrees. I cultivated situational awareness. Oh, Columbus, Ohio, originally Brooklyn. Once a New Yorker, always a New Yorker. I'm sitting here in rural Eastern Oregon for decades, but I'm reading about New York and I'm feeling New York. Oh, this is so cool. Thank you. I want to grow global community connection through this. So thank you for watching from Columbus, Ohio, and Brooklyn in the house. You get it, right? Like, it's true. Once a New Yorker, always a New Yorker. And that's for anybody, wherever you're watching from. Please consider subscribing to my channel, and my link to my author page on Amazon's in the description. Let me know if you jump off and end up ordering my books, or if you have Audible. A Long Way Home's on Audible as well. Oh, I'm going to start reading, but this gets a little... oh, we have someone studying from India. So we have Columbus, Ohio, we have India, and we had South Philly. This is what I want this to be about. Let me know where you're watching from. This is totally awesome. All right, so I'm gonna keep reading a little bit more about growing up in New York City, okay? Are you still with me? All right, thanks. I would take the #1 subway. Wait, where was I? I cultivated situational awareness at a really young age as a New Yorker, coupled with an independent sense of travel. I had the freedom at a young age to take a bus or subway, walk down the street, and I thank you for honoring our country. When we rise above, we are all one world, we are all one country, United States, and honor to the United States of America, and honor to the entire world, that we are one world, one globe, one humanity. And I really pray for peace. I pray for peace inside our own hearts, because if we can come to peace inside our hearts, then we can eliminate war, we can eliminate violence in relationships, we can eliminate toxic behaviors, we can rise to a higher vibration and heighten emotional intelligence. But I'll get to choose peace later. Actually, I may wrap. I don't want to go on too long. Thank you so much for watching. This is my first book, and I was sharing how my life has really changed. I have to do a lot of vetting, and I have probably 50 to 100 people literally a day reaching out since I published on Amazon. Many spam, many trollers. Then there are those who are legitimate, reading groups, reading clubs. It's really changed my life, and I do spend a big portion of my time having to vet who it is that's reaching out to me. I'm really thankful that you're with me right now on this platform. This feels like a safe space for me to be sharing with you all. Not the television, but we got the YouTube. All right. Yes, emotional intelligence is actually needed for all people. And you know what we need? I've been a substitute teacher on purpose for the last year because I wanted to be the front lines of this next generation. My song is I'm Ms. V, but when I'm a DJ, I'm Ms. VJ. We're gonna spin the bars so you can learn your R's. Please be respectful. I don't welcome trolls and scammers, so be kind and respectful in a higher vibration. Thank you with the comments. I see it all. Remember that you're showing yourselves, so please come from a higher vibration on my lives. Thank you very much. I have the ability to block and delete. I don't want to do that. I want to hold space for a safe, respectful space, and then hopefully people can honor that. So emotional intelligence, if you're not aware of it, is essential. Most people are living like 2-year-olds in a sandbox, and they're constantly reacting to their emotions, moving into explosive anger, reacting to their emotional patterns. Thank you. I'm seeing what you're writing, and I'm trying to stay in flow with what I'm sharing as well. I appreciate that. Thank you. The ego and the mind, I've been teaching yoga since 1994, and the ego and the mind wants us stuck in this constant, it wants us stuck in the trauma, criticism, shame, blame story. And most of us, because we have an ego and because we have a mind, are stuck in the stories that are no longer serving you. So that dovetails to the next book that flowed out of me. A Long Way Home, I published March 26th, started writing it on March 16th. This book published, I think it was July 9th, literally 90 days later. And by the way, again, for the comments, I just said it, apparently you didn't hear it. You're showing yourself when you make rude comments, and first of all, using the word crazy so I can educate you, since we're talking about emotional intelligence. One, you're showing yourself, you're not hurting me. When trolls come on and make negative comments, I use that as an opportunity to let you know that you're showing your own low vibration and low emotional intelligence, yes? And when you call people crazy, that is called name calling. So hold the mirror up and know that everybody who's watching is watching you. Show yourself. So witness the truth of what you're being shown. Know that I have the ability to block and to delete, and I am sharing this because as toxicity arrives on my lives, it's a beautiful opportunity to talk about what I'm exactly talking about in my books, is the need to heighten our emotional intelligence. The need for people to recognize when they're walking, is it kind, is it true, is it necessary, and to hold the mirror up. And yes, and when people report, they review content. And everything in my content is kind and truthful and honest. What is reviewed when I report is the comments that are written as well. So name calling is inappropriate for my channels. I'm really thankful to all my subscribers. Everybody who usually comes knows that I hold a space of respect and kindness. I've worked hard for years to share about my books. So to pull out of trauma, it is essential to start building a new story. The ego and the mind wants us stuck in the story of trauma. So we all have pain, and we all have our stories, and we all have trauma. And the ego and the mind wants you to stay in that for your whole life. So when I work with my coaching clients, when there's the trauma, rather than I was abused, it was toxic, let's flip the script to what do you want a healthy relationship to look like and feel like? Let's have that conversation. Because we can live our lives like gerbils in a cage and keep talking about pain, trauma, criticism, or we can make a conscious choice to ask ourselves, what are the action steps that I need to take to heal, to move into a story that's going to allow me to paint the canvas of my life, that's going to allow me to choose peace. That's exactly what this book is about. And that we're living in a constant state of busy in the 21st century. And when we step out of that gerbil cage of the busyness, then we can allow ourselves that calm. Okay, I'm just going to randomly open to see what message I'm meant to share right now. This is Choose Peace. Again, the link to my Amazon author page is in the description. I did all the sound engineering, narrating, producing on both audiobooks. This audiobook will be out in the next week. I have a Master of Science in Journalism from Columbia University. I used to be a reporter, producer, and anchor with Texas Associated Press Radio. I'm an award-winning film writer, director, producer. William Hurt, the Academy Award winner, narrated our documentary called American Cowboys. And I've hosted and produced 2 radio shows, and I just feel so much gratitude to be really putting energy into writing and also integrating the over 30 years of teaching yoga and mindfulness and breath through my books. That this is the legacy that I get to leave for my daughters, whether they read my books or not now, that I know that that I'm leaving something for my daughters. And what is inspiring me to write these books is that I'm here a short time. We are all here. I'm 56. I'm 56 years of age, and even if we live to 100, we are here this blip in time. So I sit in my heart like, what's that small thing I can leave my daughters? And it's my voice. It's my voice. Through my words, through my writing. Like, what's the legacy you want to leave? And when you have time, how do you spend that time? Every hour, every minute matters, because we're here, this blip in time, this moment in time. Thank you so much. Please do let me know what country you're watching from. Oh, great to meet you. I actually call them flows, and let me know which flow you like. I call them flows instead of chapters because I gave myself permission. Please consider writing a review on Amazon if you're reading it right now. It's such an honor to meet you. Thank you, and please be kind. I welcome kindness, higher vibration. I'm gonna close my eyes and see where I open. And this is from Choose Peace. And as the questions come out right now, see if they resonate with you. Let me see what page. Okay. This is me swimming in Waimea Bay. Do you see this dolphin? And the dolphin, I lived in Hawaii a few years. The dolphin would wait for me, and then the pod would open and they would let me swim in with the dolphins. And it happened over and over. It was so powerful. So energy transference. I'm going to read from Choose Peace. My Amazon author link is in my description. Please subscribe if you've been watching, and know that my intention is that one book, one reader at a time. I want to grow a global community connection. And please let me know where you're watching from. And thank you for remaining respectful on my live. Waimea Bay on North Shore on Oahu, Hawaii. The 21st century, a time of utter busyness, a time where busy becomes the excuse to not do what's truly calling our souls. Energy transference. Please sit with that for a moment. And I just closed, so if you're watching now, this is for you. I opened, and this is the page I landed on. All the energy you pick up, going grocery shopping, the drive-through, walking on the street, office, gym, subway, metro, bus, restaurants, coffee shops, just to name a few. We are in a constant whirlwind of movement, of people, of energy, the good, the bad, the ugly, all impacting us all day long. Please come into breath and watch it all like a movie. Watch every interaction in your day with heightened awareness. What are we shown? What are we being taught? What is impacting us? What do you experience with every text, email, call, meeting at work, in-person connections with friends and family? What happens in your body? At the end of every day, I sit down and I look at who I texted, who commented on my lives, who did I call, who did I see, who did I email, and I witness who replied. How did they show themselves to my posts, to my texts, my calls, and my emails? Who did not reply to my call, my text, my email? Who did I resist replying to via text, email, or call? And in the evening, I review the whole day of interactions. If there was silence, then believe the truth of what is being shown in the silence. They didn't want to communicate. They didn't want to reply. Was there an interaction? When there was an interaction, was I energized, drained? I recognized how I felt when there was a positive interaction. I go through every single interaction that happened throughout my day. I do this at about 6 o'clock every night, and I write in my journal, what was I shown? And I love the line that we meet people for a reason, a season, or a lifetime. Each moment of every day becomes a teacher and becomes a lesson. I'm gonna go inside. And Arizona, thank you. I want to say thank you all. The air quality is really bad. I need to go inside. I was dressed for work and they canceled work. I want to close with a prayer for all the firefighters here in rural Eastern Oregon, across the state of Oregon, Canada, and anywhere across the world with fires, natural disasters, recovery from the floods in Hawaii. And my intention, thank you for being here. Please let me know what country, what state. I come on social to grow global community connection, to have a moment of connection, and that's with you right now. You took the time to pause, so I just want to say honor to you. And again, my books. I wanted to share more of the energy of my books. A Long Way Home and Choose Peace. If you go to the description, my Amazon author link is there. Please send me a message. If you end up ordering, please consider a review. I'm a self-published author, so you're welcome there. I just published Choose Peace, so I don't have any reviews yet, but I have 12 5-star reviews on A Long Way Home. The Audible book is also there, and the Choose Peace Audible book is coming out in the next week. I did all the producing, narrating, sound engineering on both the books, and I thank you. What's calling your soul? When you have time, what do you do? Yes, I love what you just wrote. Getting through a negative interaction makes me a strong person. Yes. Oh, sending light to Portland. And by the way, yes, it's the triggers and the negativity is where we grow, because we get to choose how we react to toxic. Are we showing up toxic? How do we show up kind? I love your comment. And Portland, oh yeah, I'm in Pendleton, and we got, it's bad. I got to go inside. Sending light to Portland. If you ever drive through Pendleton, please reach out. And hey, it's always good to look like someone's favorite aunt. Sending light from over here in Pendleton to Portland, to Arizona. We had Ohio, we had East Philly, and thank you everyone for watching today. Please subscribe. I do a lot of lives, I do a lot of mindfulness, and I have a Master of Science in Journalism from New York City, and I really think these platforms, YouTube is a magical platform, and I'm really holding space, asking people when you come to my lives to come with kindness. I want to thank, I think I just hit over 400 subscribers. YouTube, it takes time to build that. And I want to build subscribers who are truly engaged with what it is that I'm bringing. So thank you. Please consider subscribing today and consider getting my books. Message me if you get my books. Let me know what country, city, state. So I'm my own publicist. I created the Taking Flight campaign. So I have 2 maps. One for each book. Like A Long Way Home has gone from Indiana, Brooklyn, LA, Hawaii, the Netherlands, Hong Kong, Vietnam, Cambodia, Taiwan, Matemwe, a township in Zanzibar, in Tanzania, on the island of Zanzibar in Tanzania. So my books are on a journey worldwide. Please, please, if you order A Long Way Home and Choose Peace, send me a message of what country, city, state you're in, so I can add your area to the map of growing global community. You know what? At the end of life, nothing else matters other than growing human connection and being able to navigate, to dive into peace within ourselves. You may travel the world, or you may never leave your hometown. But the real journey is when we go inside into stillness. That's where everything is shown. Have a blessed day. May we find peace in this world and within our own hearts. God bless you all.